So tell your accountability partner how specific in terms of KPIs and methods you want them to be about. Then you obviously need to let them know what is it that you're trying to achieve.
Have you been thinking about buying your first rental property for some time, or do you already own a bunch of properties? Well, fellow investors, you found the right location to listen and learn from others' successes. Welcome to The Very Real Estate Effect with your host, Axel Mont-Saint-Jean.
Hello, and welcome back to the Very Real Estate Effect podcast, a show dedicated to real estate investing right here in Quebec. And today, I'm very happy to be sharing with you some tips and tricks about how you can accelerate your growth in real estate and just really in anything in your life as you can improve your productivity and actually your achievements. So, how do we do that? Before we jump into it, I just want to remind everyone thank you for sharing this episode with a friend who could benefit from this conversation. There are many people who like real estate or not around you who could actually get a lot out of this episode. So, send it to them. Leave me some comments, leave me a review. It will be greatly appreciated. I was having conversations with other people in real estate, and one of the topics that came up is the importance of goals, objectives, and accountability. And that's what I want to talk to today about, especially the accountability part. So before, from my economics background, I remember some professors saying, before we go into something, let's properly define things. Let's understand what we're talking about here. Because it applies to real estate, it applies to every aspect of your life, whether it's personal, whether it's your health, whether it's your finances, your career, your really your family, everything in the different spheres of your life. So first of all, what is accountability? Accountability, well, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is being accountable. So now, what is accountable? And being accountable is when a person, organization, or institution, i.e., someone or an entity, is required or expected to justify their actions or decisions and basically be responsible of those. Accountable. What does that mean? And so it's very linked. If you have to justify your actions, you need to have originally defined what is it that you want to do or achieve your objectives. So some would start by saying, well, to be held accountable, you first need to define some SMART objectives, right? Clearly defined objectives. We all know the SMART acronym. Now, you need to take a little bit of time to define what that is. And it's got to be very specific. It's got to be measurables. It's got to be attainable. It's got to be, what's the R for? I'll come back. And there's got to be, it's time sensitive. So it's by October 31st, I will have done 19 offers on this type of on multifamily properties in this neighborhood in Montreal. See, that's starting to frame it properly, not just, oh, I'm going to make some offers by the end of the year. So in being accountable, one of the best things that helps, and that's also what we do in our mastermind, is that we ask people, well, what is it that you want to do? Let's talk on quarterly basis. Let's talk on yearly basis. And then where do you want to go from there? And we have them talk and explain exactly what that means, and we help them redefine. Okay. Now, it clarifies for us and it clarifies for them, and it helps them make it more specific. In what way do you want to be held accountable? What does that really mean? And you got to share that with your accountability partner. Because for some people, it's as simple as, I don't know, call me once a week and ask me if I've gone to the gym 5 times. Okay. That's good. And at least you being held responsible and accountable for your actions is able to clearly voice to your accountability partner what is it that you need and how you need it. Depending on the goal, depending on what is it that you're trying to achieve, you're going to have to be even more specific. So you really have to sit down and clearly explain to your accountability partner how you want to be reminded. Do you expect them to come over to your house on Saturday? Do you expect them to come to your office and give you a kick in the butt? Do you expect a text message 3 times a week? Do you want a phone call? Do you want an email? Do you want to remind you to take me out for lunch every 2 weeks so we can talk about it? This accountability can come in many different shapes and forms, and you have to be able to voice it. So now coming into real estate, just as an example, for some people, it's about making offers. For some people, it's about having a headache with management and they need to actually seek out help and property management companies. And their goal is, hey, by the end of October, I want to have put 3 of my properties in a management company and be hands off. And all I want to do is look at the bank account once a month. Okay, in order to achieve that, what are the top management companies in your neighborhood, in that neighborhood, rather, in your target market? Maybe your first objective is to do some research and make a list of 5 of them and start calling them and book appointments, and you prepare a standard email and send it to them. Anyways, I'm not going to go into how to find a property management company, but it's about explaining to your accountability partner the steps that you will undertake and how you want him to keep you on track and make sure you've actually done it. And the more you're able to discuss it with him, the more it will help you define, and it will bring clarity to you and to him, because he's not responsible for finding 5 property management companies. He just needs to remind you that it was important to you and that you need to do it because it's a major objective of yours. So tell your accountability partner how specific in terms of KPIs and methods you want them to be about. Then you obviously need to let them know what is it that you're trying to achieve, right? We kind of rewind and go back to the beginning about you need to define your SMART goals and share it with them so they know what to keep you accountable on and how to do it. For some people, it's as much as an email, a phone call, an intervention, and doing significant changes in their lives. And that's maybe you've seen that around you for other situations. It's usually not real estate. So it's an important part to take into account. You will notice that the minute you define that more for yourself, it will naturally start to happen. It's like the red car syndrome. You want to buy a new car and you want to buy a particular model, and all of a sudden, as you're driving, that's all you see. It's weird. It's really strange how this happens. Funny how our minds are focused on, once we set ourselves a goal and an objective, naturally it becomes easier. Now, effective accountability will make a difference for you in every aspect of your life. And to be frank, I'm working on it, and it's not easy. And I'm working on several projects, and on one of them, there is a few steps that I need to complete. And it's been really good to actually have someone who's very familiar with this type of project, so we can talk about it and say, "Hey, have you done that?" "Yes, I have." "Oh, tell me about it." This, then this, then that. "Oh, that's good. Okay, what about that?" "Oop, I need some help." And "Oop, thank you for reminding me because I said I would do it last week. So thank you for keeping me on track." And finding an accountability partner goes 2 ways. It's not that difficult. That's also what we're doing in the mastermind, and it's actually been really fun to see the progression and to see how people sometimes achieve more, sometimes they achieve less. But the common aspect is that it usually brings honesty. And I love it when people say, "Yeah, last week I said I would do this. I only did half. That's on me." And then that next time they'll be motivated because they said it in front of others and they said it to themselves. In the end, we're just only lying to ourselves. We just justify it to others. And don't do that anymore. Whether it's real estate, whether it's your health, whether it's with your relationships, all of that, we can all improve. On this wonderful note, I hope it was a bit helpful in helping you achieve some of your real estate goals, and find yourself a partner. Find someone who's more or less in the same situation, and in terms of accountability, and work with them and just offer and say, "Hey, how about we talk 3 times a week or 2 times a week?" And maybe it's just already a friend that you already have that you just want to let them know, this is really important for me. Can you ask me every week what I've done about it? Trust me, they'll be happy to kick you or bring you support. Depends how you look at it. On this wonderful note, I've got some accountability to do on some other stuff. So I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to talk to you next week. Thank you so much for sharing this episode with a friend. Coming back soon. Ciao.